Hey, it's your boy AJ back with another freaking video, and today I'm here with another story time. Actually, a mental health story time, well, mental hospital story time, child. It follows up the other story time that I left y'all at a cliffhanger back in March, honey. So I'm sorry, but I'm here at the top of June to give y'all part 2. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, it is like 42 minutes long. It is a lot going on. Grab your popcorn, grab your blunt, grab your liquor, grab your wine, and grab your tissue because we was crying too in the other part. So go watch that other part before you even watch this so you can be fully caught up, because I'm going to start this story directly where last story left off. So without further ado, let's run the intro so we can get directly on into the story time. As I was talking about in the last story time, this boy was fighting and ended up dropping and just passing out after he done dropped the N-word, and I was speechless. I was completely gagged. But when I seen him drop into that seizure, I knew dang well he wasn't finna KO. I knew it wasn't his last minute on earth, so I started to laugh. I really started to laugh. I started to laugh because I thought it was funny, because look at how God, tables turn, the tables turn.
Tables turn, the tables turn. What goes around comes back around. Tables turn, the tables turn.
Look how the tables get to turning so fast. You drop the N-word and now you're the next thing dropped. So this boy literally drops down and have a seizure, and I'm speechless, gagging, and I begin to start clapping. Now, as I'm clapping, girl, they bring in these medical specialists because at this point, they call a code blue. I think it's like code blue medical emergency. They've called a medical emergency over the announcements. So literally everybody from other units are running in to come save this boy. So he ends up getting ushered off to somewhere in the hospital, girl. He wasn't nowhere near us anymore. He gets ushered off, and that's the end of that situation. Well, for that day. The next day, we wake up, we go to breakfast like normal thing, and after breakfast, we end up coming back to the unit, and he was there. The boy was there, the N-word dropper, he was there, and I'm looking like, alright, it's time to have him drop again. I'm looking like it's time to fight again. Even though I wasn't the person trying to fight him in the first part, I was getting up to, girl. I was getting up to fight him, but he ended up dropping before I could get him, girl. But it's time for me and him to catch the rounds. Now, we did not catch our rounds because I was like, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm supposed to be going home soon. I don't want to show these people no type of aggression so they can hold me in here longer than anything. I don't. So I sit down, I relax, but I tell him, if you ever say that mother, no, I didn't say that.
So I relaxed and I looked at him and said, don't you ever put your mother hands on me again, bitch, because I'll cut your mother throat in your mother sleep. And then I walked out, shaking my fat ass.
Girl, Tokyo Tony is a key. So after breakfast, we all go to that front room. Like I told y'all, that little front room where it had the TV and we were all sitting, entertain and mingle and stuff. We went into that room after breakfast and we had like a group meeting with some type of like weekend aid. What is it, like AR? No, RT. We had a meeting with a RT, which is a recreational therapy. She came in with like different games for us to play, and we was just in there, vibing around, playing our games. Now, the N-word dropper was at the top of the room, but he did not play the games. He did not interact with anybody. And the whole time I'm thinking in my head, like, why did they even bring him back in here? Like, if he's just gonna blink with his bang gang at us, there's no reason for him to be in here, because at this point, I'm feeling intimidated. He's just staring at us. What is he plotting to do, girl? Like, you mad because you couldn't participate in the fight and you had to have a seizure? Like, I don't know what he planned to do, but he was just giving us bombastic evil eye. And I'm like, no. Now, the day ends up wrapping up. Well, the therapy, the RT, the recreational therapy ends up wrapping up for the day. So this whole day, I'm in the mindset of like, okay, I'm going home tomorrow because it's Sunday. I'm like, all right, my mama done had a whole weekend to calm down. She ain't mad at me. Shouldn't be no more imaginary smoke, no imaginary drama, because mind you, all of this happened because I wouldn't give her my iPod. So I'm thinking like, all right, she should be calm. Like, she got the iPod now. I've been out of her house 3 days. She's had me locked in here. I should be able to go home Monday. So the whole time I'm thinking like, yeah, girl, hopefully my mama to calm down so I can go on home, girl. Go on home. Now, Sunday comes to a close that night. We're still in the game room. We're talking, but we do the same old, same old. As the night comes to a close and it's time for them to go get their medicine and stuff like that, we pray. So we pray, we do the disperse, and we go to our rooms. So girl, I'm laying in the bed and I'm thinking like, this is the day. Like, this is the last time I'm laying in this bed. Tomorrow when I get up, girl, my mama's coming to pick me up. I'm doing my big one. I'm out of here. Mind you, I have not talked to my mother the whole time I've been there. And I've been there since Friday night. I have not called my mother at all. Every time we had a phone call during the night, I would call my best friends. We would all group call. We would be on there kikiing. Cause I didn't really, you know, I didn't have nothing to say to my mama. But the whole time in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm a free bird, quack, quack, doo-doo. I'm gonna get to flap my wings come tomorrow. So the next morning comes and they wake all of us up. And of course, you know, like people are taking their meds. So they have people in the front. And I go to the front. Now, I'm not on the meds that the girls are all girl, but I go to the front. And I go to the front and I'm just getting people's numbers that I really vibe with. Now, for the most part, I vibe with everybody other than the N-word dropper. But I'm getting people that I really, really like. I'm like, okay, I will talk to you forever. I'm getting their numbers, their social medias, and just, you know, catching up. Girl, I got a little notebook. I'm writing everything down. I'm getting people's social medias, getting everybody's numbers and stuff like that. And now it's time to head out to breakfast. So I head out to breakfast. I eat breakfast. We go to the gym after breakfast, which was a gagger because we would never really go to the gym after breakfast. We would go after lunch. But we go to the gym after breakfast. And I'm thinking like, okay, today is the day. Now, like I told y'all in the other story time, I had to wait till Monday to meet with a doctor, a therapist, and also have the meeting with my mom. And every child that is admitted into the hospital must have a family coaching meeting with the therapist, me, and my mom. It must be a meeting, all three of us together, for the child to be discharged. So I'm waiting around like, yeah, you know, gym is fun. Gym is fun, girl. Oh, gym is fun. But where's the meeting? Where I haven't seen a therapist. I haven't seen a doctor. Where's these people at? Doctor! Doctor! Doctor!
Doctor.
Yes.
You sure that's all you need?
Yes, thank you, nurse.
You sure that's all you need? Doctor.
Nurse.
Doctor.
Nurse.
Doctor.
Nurse.
Doctor.
Baby, I'm looking for the doctor. Doctor's nowhere to be found. Now, as I'm waiting on, you know, somebody to come save me, one of my friends get pulled out. And it's time for her to go because today was the day that she was going home. So her parents are there and it's time for her to go. And it is such an emotional thing. She ended up walking up to me and we're saying our goodbyes. We're hugging and loving on each other. And she ends up telling me something so emotional. Something so, it was so hard feeling. Like I still think about it to this day. I still talk to that girl to this day. I text her maybe 3 weeks ago, if that, maybe 2 weeks ago. Not even too long ago. Like we still, like that happened, like this situation happened in 2020, the story time I'm talking about. But even 3 years later, I'm still checking on her, making sure she good. But she hugged on me, we had some close words, and she went on home. And I was emotional wreck, girl. And I don't feel like going into what happened today because I don't want to be emotional, but I was an emotional wreck. And she fled. Now I have never seen her in person again because I think she stayed in like Arkansas, if I don't believe. It's either Arkansas or Mississippi, I don't remember. Girl, when we be catching up about everything other than the town she stay in. So it's either Arkansas or Mississippi. So I've never seen her, and she stays in like the country parts, girl. I mean like 4-5 hours deep into Arkansas or either Mississippi, okay? But she leaves, and now I'm thinking, all right, it's my turn. Like, where's the doctor?
Doctor.
Now we end up leaving the gym, going back to the unit, chilling at the unit, and then going to lunch. And my whole time I'm thinking in my head like, what's going on here? Now after lunch, I finally get pulled aside, girl. I finally get pulled aside, and it's by this therapist lady. She's like, hey Jalen, I'm your caseworker, I'm your therapist, you know, let me talk to you. Can I talk to you about some things? So she pulls me over into this side room, you guys, and she's like, your mother doesn't want to come up here. She doesn't want to come up here to do the group meeting. We've been trying to get her up here all day, but she doesn't want to do the in-person group meeting, but she said we can call her. So I'm like, at this point, there's nothing, I can't argue about it. I can't force her up here. Get her ass on the phone. Get her on the phone. Call her, girl. Call her. So at this point, I'm heated all over again, but I'm trying to play it cool because like I said, I want to go home. But now I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you playing around? Like, you supposed to came up here, had this meeting, and drove me home. What are you doing? So he ended up calling my mom or whatever. With the adrenaline rush I had and the angerness I had, I immediately clock her about lying, because like I said, I haven't spoke to her the 3 days I've been here. I haven't spoke to her. So at this point, girl, it's time to puff that smoke. So as soon as the phone connects, I'm like, why did you lie on me to get me in here? You know I didn't touch you, you know I didn't try to push you, you know I didn't hit you. You made that up, you added to the story because they wouldn't accept me in the first hospital for an argument. So you called this hospital and said I did this and said I did that and da-da-da-da-da-da-do. It made me look like something I'm not. I don't even remember what she said, y'all. I don't even remember what she said. I don't remember what she said, but it was along the lines of, okay, and it gave very much like mission accomplished. Like mission accomplished, like I did it. I accomplished the mission. Who gonna check me? It gave very much that energy. And I'm like speechless. Now, once the therapist ended up picking up on that energy, she jumps in immediately and she's like, yeah, we're gonna be immediately discharging him. His discharge is tomorrow. Now, when she said tomorrow, I gagged. When she said tomorrow, I gagged because I thought I was going home today. So when she said tomorrow, I was like, you know, therapist, I don't think you have everything, you know, correlated. I was following you, but you lost me. I don't know which street you turned down, but I got lost at some point because I thought I was going home today. I don't know what you, like, I don't know nothing about no discharge tomorrow. I don't know nothing about that, but I live for a discharge, but I didn't know it was tomorrow. I thought it was today.
I don't know nothing about that.
But I'm bombastic side-eye in the therapist, but she's telling my mom like, oh, you know, discharge is tomorrow. You have to be here to pick him up before 4 p.m. And if you don't pick him up, she told her off the jump like, you know, we're gonna call Memphis PD and DCS. Told my mom off the jump like, come on, you gotta pick him on up tomorrow. We done the free insurance day, girl. It's time for him to go. Hit the road like Jack. It's time for him to go. So that day ends. There's nothing really to talk about that happened that day. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But that day ends, okay? Let's talk about the next day. The next day, I eat morning breakfast. I went to breakfast with the thought of, I know my mom's not coming to breakfast. I know my mom's not coming to breakfast. I was thinking maybe she would take a half a day and come, you know, maybe noon, maybe right before lunch, maybe after lunch. But I knew she was not coming to breakfast. So girl, I went on down to breakfast and enjoyed me a Last Supper, breakfast edition, okay? Enjoyed the Last Supper, breakfast edition, and I'm living life. But the time begins to tick and tock. And tick and tock and tick and tock and tick and tock and tick and tock, and there's no mama on the clock. I'm like, girl, where's my mom? It's time for me to go. Like, beep beep. They told you yesterday. They told you yesterday. It's time for me to skedaddle. Where are you? Now, she did eventually come to pick me up. I think it was like really like 3:30, maybe 3:45, like the time right before 4 o'clock. Like, girl, minutes straggling the line before 4 o'clock, okay? She came to pick me up, and more of the story is when she came to pick me up, my life was forever changed after that day. Now, that story time will be for my members only, the story after this story, okay, girl? But I didn't want to leave y'all on a cliffhanger on how last story ends. So I want to come and tell y'all how my last couple of days at the mental hospital was, and also if I got picked up or not. Now, me getting picked up and what happened after the pickup, girl, it's like the story is like too much and it's too emotional. I don't know how I am going to be telling it, and I'm not getting in front of the world for it to see. Now, it is a complete mess. It's a mess. Now, my members got the story time, get the tea. I wouldn't even call it tea because that's not even tea. Like, this is my real life. But members only story. I love y'all so much. Thank you guys for watching this story time. Make sure you go watch the other story time if you did listen to me in the beginning and you stayed and watched this whole story time, girl. But also the mental hospital series. I have these stories about this other mental hospital I was in. It's a whole elaborate thing, honey. If you want to know why I was there, start at the top of the series. I think we're only maybe 4 videos in for the series, but go watch it, girl, because that's cranking back up real soon. We're gonna get into the things and we headed back to the white padded wall to talk about this mental hospital stay that I had. What grade was that? I think maybe 9th or 10th grade. I don't know, but I know I was there from December to June, so I have a lot of stories to tell, and I was just getting started. I think I only did like 4 or 5 stories, not that many. So go watch them and get ready because I'm headed back with that series, okay, girl? But I love y'all so much. I'm sweating, I'm hot, and I gotta go, and I'll see y'all very soon for another video. Like I said, members only if you want to know what happened after my mama picked me up, because child. Anyways, I gotta go. I love y'all. Bye.